guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel K. You might know me from my Instagram at Mrs. Rachel Krause. And today I'm coming at you with 5 dinner meal ideas. I hope you guys love these ideas. They were so fun to make. And these are things that we include in our weekly rotation. I love cooking. It's like a hobby to me. But if you want to take any kind of shortcuts, you do you. I think that's awesome to take shortcuts. Unfortunately, our allergies and intolerances here usually won't allow us to take shortcuts. If you like these kinds of videos, go ahead and smash that like button below, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so you never miss another video from me. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on my channel. Leave me a comment telling me what your favorite dinner to have at your house is. I absolutely love having you guys here and connecting with you in our community down below. Share this video with a friend who might need some dinner meal ideas this week, and let's get on into it. Starting off with our first meal of the week, this is what we had. We had this gluten-free pizza crust mix, which is great if you have other allergies as well, because I believe it's vegan, like dairy-free, no eggs, anything like that, which is what we're looking for. So I'm just making it according to the box directions, which is literally so easy, you guys. It's just the mix, water, and a little bit of oil. And Derek loves to show off his Pepsi because he wanted to be included in the video as well. And then I just take my hand mixer and I mix it. I think it says for 3 minutes on the box. Seriously, you guys, this could not be any easier. This is not a super finicky pizza crust or anything like that. And then I just pour it onto a parchment lined baking sheet. We don't have like a pizza stone or anything like that. And I will spread it out until it is 1/4 of an inch thick. This is the most finicky part of the whole pizza crust, and it's still not that hard. You just spread it out even thinner than you possibly think it should go, and you'll see that I test it with my finger to see like how deep it is in there. And that's about it. Then I'm gonna throw it in the oven for the first 20 minutes and let it bake up. I like to multitask and make the most use of my time, so I'm just getting out everything while the pizza crust is in the oven baking up, and I'm going to be chopping up all of our toppings and stuff. But while I was chopping up some mushrooms, I just figured I'd go ahead and chop up the entire thing while I had my knife and cutting board out, and then I'd put them away for the rest of the week. I obviously saved some for the pizza as well. So we are using some mushrooms, some green olives, some basil, and some spinach, and obviously some marinara sauce as well. I'm pulling it out of the oven at 20 minutes. It bakes at 450 degrees for 20 minutes the first time. Then you take it out, put all of your toppings on it, and then you throw it back in for another 10 minutes, and it's super easy, and it's fun that everybody gets to choose their own toppings. So I like to make 2 sides of this because Derek likes to still eat cheese. I eat a dairy-free cheese because I feel much better being dairy-free. He is the one with a confirmed dairy allergy, and yet he still loves it too much to give it up. So I also have Logan, who eats off of my side of the pizza as well. So if it looks a bit uneven, that's because Logie Bear can eat pretty much his entire weight in pizza. While the pizza's on the last round of cooking, I'm just gonna make some sauces, which is some marinara sauce, and then the other one is half ranch, half buffalo sauce. I love sauces. And then you see some honey in the corner there, which you need to try if you've never tried before. This is the part where I'm cutting off Logie Bear's piece of pizza, and he ate an entire another piece of pizza even after this one. So obviously I did not give him enough, which is crazy. Boy loves his pizza, but this is how they turned out. They're so good and yummy. Oh my gosh, you guys, we love this pizza crust, and it's a super easy family dinner night meal. We're moving on to our next meal, and we are making some BLTs for this meal. Oh my gosh, these were so good. I don't know, I grew up on BLTs, so these totally brought back some nostalgia from my childhood with my mom, but I am just cooking up all of the toppings, not really cooking the bacon, but I'm chopping up all of the rest of the toppings as well, which are going to be lettuce, some thinly sliced tomatoes, and then I'm also going to be making up some seared mushrooms and onions, which you will see here in a minute. Then we've got our bread back there, and I'm also using some basil. If If you're looking for a really good gluten-free bread, this is the one we used. It's the brand Energy, and it doesn't have any eggs in it either. And then, of course, Derek wanted to be a part of the video, so he showed you guys what he was drinking. But then I'm also going to make a quick side sauce. I love sauces. It's half ranch, half barbecue sauce, just mixed together, and it was perfect to dip this sandwich in. And then I'm going to go ahead and build the sandwiches. And that is an egg-free mayo, which I found in the refrigerated section of like the organic section of the store. It was actually really, really good. I always love to cut my sandwiches, and I always cut them on a diagonal, so that's what I did for us this evening as well. And look how good that looks, you guys. It was so yummy. For this next meal, we are making Mexican lasagna, and it is super, super easy, and this is on a weekly rotation at our house. We absolutely love it. I'm also using my homemade cassava flour tortillas, which you guys see off to the side there, and those are super easy to make as well. I have a highlight about those on my Instagram at Mrs. Rachel Krause if you want to go check them out. They're under tortillas, and right now I'm just making the cilantro lime rice. So I made a bag of rice from Trader Joe's, and I just popped it in the microwave. When it came out, I mixed it with some butter, some salt, some garlic powder, and then I'm also going to throw in some cilantro and a little bit of lime just to taste, and mix it all together and put it off to the side. Typically, we add beef or turkey to this meal, but I did not have any of that. We like to eat meat-free probably 3 to 4 times a week. We usually do every other day with meat. So for like my quote-unquote meat mixture, what I made was some black beans, some mushrooms, some onion, and some spinach, and then some taco seasoning, and honestly, it was fine. With everything else in there, we didn't miss it at all. And then I'm also adding in some of this avocado salsa, but use whatever salsa you have. This one's just so good, and it's from Costco. You can see it in my last Costco haul as well. I will link it below. And then I'm just going to start by layering everything. There is no really wrong way to do this, and I'm just adding some refried beans on top of my little taco mixture with the rice, and then I'm putting my tortillas on and then some cheese. And honestly, whatever order you do this in, it's all going to turn out amazing. This is not a finicky meal. And then I usually do 2 layers, and like I said before, Derek eats normal cheese and I just eat dairy-free cheese. So I usually put olives in the middle so that once it bakes up, I can see where the line of division is and I'm not getting some cheese on accident. And then I'm just going to layer on the rest of my ingredients and throw it into the oven. Oh, you also want to top it with foil, but I loosely tent it with foil just so it's not like baking into the cheese or anything like that. And then we throw it into the oven at 400 degrees, I believe is what I do, and for about 20 to 25 minutes. And that is literally it. This was the finished product. I let it broil up a little bit afterwards with the foil off, but that is optional. And this is how it turned out. This was my side. I like to top it with sour cream, a little bit more lime, and some avocado salsa with some chips. Our next meal is the Copycat Nordstrom tomato basil soup, and it was so yummy. So I'm just going to throw in my veggies to sear and cook down a little bit, which is chopped up carrots and some chopped up onion, just to your liking. I did about 3 whole carrots and an entire onion. And then I'm going to be pouring in some spices, which is some oregano, salt, and garlic powder. I did it to taste. That's kind of how I cook. That's my style of cooking. So I'm just going to be pouring in 2 huge cans of Marzano tomatoes and then 4 cups of veggie stock. And the way I do veggie stock is the better than bouillon veggie. So I'm just pouring the water into those cans to make sure I'm getting all of the tomato out, and it works perfectly. And then I just do a big spoonful of the veggie bouillon. And then we will be moving on to our grilled cheese. So I butter both sides of the bread and then I throw them on to cook before I add the cheese. As you know, I do not eat dairy, so this is the cream that we used. It was the cashew milk yogurt, and it was perfect. You wouldn't even know a difference, and it was completely dairy-free. So I'm just kind of going back and forth between the soup and the grilled cheese here. I'm layering up my cheese right now. This is the Daya cheese that I use, and then just regular cheese for Derek. And this half of the sandwich was actually for Logie Bear, who also doesn't eat any dairy. It really bothers his tummy. We're going to go ahead and add in that basil, and all I do from there is add it into
into a blender. Remember, it's hot, so you're gonna start off low and slow, and then I'm putting all the soup back together, and this was the end result. It was so easy and so good. Heading into our next meal, we are making taquitos, and these turned out so good. We are using some ground beef here, and I'm using my meat chopper, which if you don't have one, you need one. I'll try and link it below. It was just from Amazon. After I drain the beef, I'm just adding in the onion, and then I'm setting off some beef to the side for the poogers, which you'll see me give to Cole here in a second. And then I'm gonna go ahead, stir everything together, make sure it cooks down together, and then I'm setting aside half of the beef for another day because we didn't need all this, which is an easy trick if you need some meal prep. And then I'm adding in some chilies and adobo sauce and some oregano, stirring that around, and then adding in a half a cup of red enchilada sauce and a fourth a cup of water and letting it cook down until the sauce thickens. And you'll see it here. This is what I mean by thickened. And then we're laying out some tortillas, and you rub them with olive oil. I ended up doing 6 tortillas, and then the last tortilla I saved for Logie Bear and gave him something else because these were too crunchy for him to have. And then you just add about 2 tablespoons of meat to each tortilla, add some cheese, roll them up, and place the seam side down. And then you're gonna add them to your oven. My oven cooks really low, so I added them on broil, and I just broiled them on each side for about less than 5 minutes, and they came out perfectly. So yummy, so good. And I ended up serving mine with some salsa on the side for both of us, and then I used some sour cream as well. And I also cooked up some plantains on the stove, which were a perfect addition. I should add that the sour cream that I use is the cashew yogurt. It's a perfect replacer for sour cream if you're dairy-free.
Alrighty, you guys, that is it from me today. I hope you loved these dinner meal recipes. Share this video with a friend who might need some dinner meal recipes, and go ahead and smash that like button below. Leave me a comment if you haven't already. I love to respond to you guys and just hang out in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications, and I will see you next time. Bye.